There's a lot of people that talk about SEO. There's a lot of SEO tools. There's a lot of people that claim to do SEO, but I want to show you what actually is real.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Susan Sweeney, one of the deans at eLearnU, and I'd like to welcome you to today's program. For anybody that's new on our call, we'll go for about 50 minutes of great content, and then we'll have about 10 minutes of Q&A. We do our Q&A one of two ways. You can type your question in the question area as we go along, and I'll read those questions out to our expert, Dennis Yu, today. Alternatively, if you'd like to speak directly to Dennis to get your question answered, please hold your question until we're in the Q&A time period. Then on your control panel, you'll see a little hand symbol. Click on that. It lights up on my screen, which tells me that you want me to unmute you. I will give you a heads up, call you by your first name. I'll let you know that I'm going to unmute you. I will. You talk away to Dennis. Everybody can hear your question. Everybody can hear your answer. And once your question has been answered to your satisfaction, I will then mute you and we'll go on to the next question. So on with the show. This is it. Our expert today is Dennis Yu. Dennis is the CEO of Blitzmetrics, a 7-figure digital marketing company that partners with schools to train young adults. He has spoken over 730 times in 17 countries, spanning 5 continents, including keynotes at L2E, PubCon, Conversion Conference, Social Media Marketing World, Glutagen, and Market 2 Summit. Dennis has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, LA Times, National Public Radio, TechCrunch, Fox News, CNN, CBS Evening News. He's a regular contributor to Adweek's Social Times column and is published in Social Media Examiner, Social Media Club, Tweak Your Biz, B2C, Social Fresh, and Hail. Dennis has held leadership positions at Yahoo and American Airlines and studied finance and economics at Southern Methodist University and the London School of Economics. And even better than all of that, Dennis has done 4 or 5 webinars for us at eLearnU by now. We sure have. That way.
1, 4, 5 over the years.
Yeah. Well, so happy to have you back and really looking forward to your program.
An honor. Thank you, Susan. And those of you guys, you're here because you want to learn about SEO from the standpoint of the search engine. I'm a former search engine engineer. I built the internal analytics at Yahoo. For those of you guys that are old enough to remember, that was just over 20 years ago. So I'm dating myself. And there's a lot of people that talk about SEO. There's a lot of SEO tools. There's a lot of people that claim to do SEO. But I want to show you what actually is real. And most people will say SEO is this black box where Google doesn't tell you what's going on. And thus they throw up their hands as these magic wizards that will say, well, the rankings changed and Google had another update and whatnot. And while there are a lot of things that the search engines aren't going to tell you, because I was at a search engine and people would come to me and try to pry me for different ways they could try to trick the system, the fundamentals have been the same and they always will be the same. So while we're starting to do this audit, I want you guys to type into the chat your website URL so we can start to take a look at it from the standpoint of what a search engine is looking at. Or if you don't want to type in your site, type in a competitor's site and we can start to deconstruct a competitor. And I think you're going to find by the end of this session that SEO is no longer a mystery. SEO is something that really makes sense in terms of delivering the best experience to the user, to answer a question, to give them what they've anticipated through an inferred question, whether it's a combination of a video, a piece of news or reference material or a blog post or a social media post. When you take the view of the search engine, I'm trying to give the user the best experience. I think you're going to find what's the best thing that you need to do to be able to get more search traffic. So it could be Google My Business, which is part of Google, right? Maps, website clicks, calls. It could be YouTube views. It could be general search views. It could be all kinds of stuff. We're going to cover those particular components, but there's nothing better than starting from looking at your website. So who's a brave volunteer? All right, we have East Coast Outfitters. So keep it coming. Any question you have. And if you're watching this on the replay, then I'd love to see your comments because I always come back and check the comments. So, okay, we got a few of these folks here. Let's take a look. I'm sharing my screen and, oh, there's a typo there. I assume it's East as an E-A-S-T. If you got other sites, go ahead and put them into the chat. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to use a variety of tools, some of which are free and some of which you have to pay. People will argue about which tools are better. I don't want to go into that whole kind of discussion. I just want to show you generally how we're looking at things. So first off, I can see that this site is not site-wide SSL. You guys see in here in the top left, it says not secure. That means that when people come to this website, they're going to be switching from SSL to non-SSL. So when you look at any other website, any news site, any social media site, any of the top 1,000 websites, they're all secure sites. Every single page is secure. So because of the HTTP protocol, if you go from secure to an unsecure site, it drops the referring agent, meaning you don't know where that user came from. It's going to show up in your Google Analytics as direct none. So your analytics are goofed up because of that. So you need to get a site-wide SSL certificate so your Google Analytics are working properly. If I come here and I look at the Google Tag Assistant, I got a bunch of these Chrome plugins. I can see you have Google Analytics, but you don't have Google Tag Manager and you're not running Google Remarketing. So from Google's standpoint, you want to pass these other items through because it will help you from an SEO standpoint, because Google's looking at the experience of users who come to your website, whether they're converting. It's part of quality score. There's landing page quality. And if you're doing if you're giving a good experience to these users, then you have nothing to hide. So I wouldn't really worry about that. All right. So from a user standpoint, East Coast Outfitters, looks like you guys are doing adventure tourism, ecotourism here. Oh, I'd love to go kayaking. I'd like to check out this place. You guys have a Facebook page. Great. And lessons, guides, tours, all of that. And most people will think, especially in travel and tourism, that the home page is where everyone comes in, but that's actually not the case. And if you do a good job, then the home page should only be 5% of your traffic, because Google wants to send people directly to the page that answers their question. So let's take a look at what Google thinks your best pages are. If you guys haven't learned, search operators are really cool. So I'm doing site colon, right? So the site colon search is asking Google, what are the web pages that are on eastcoastoutfitters.com? And I see there's 255. There could be more. Often, if you have WordPress or some kind of content management system, there's other pages that are generated because there's tags and there's topics and there's pagination and things like that. But in terms of actual pages, 255, and you can see that the home page is the most powerful page. It's listed as number 1, about, which is what we expect. Lessons, tours, rentals. So we would expect this because these are the top components of the site. And the way Google has determined that these are the top pages on the site are that it has the most link juice coming in. So if I look at the domain rank, I'm using the Ahrefs toolbar plugin. I think this one's free. And I can see the domain's got 23. I'll explain what these numbers mean in a minute. And from the page, I go 33 on the home page, 7, 10, 12, 9, 7, and then it's starting to go down. 7. These are the top pages of the 255 pages. The more links away it is from the home page, the less juice it has. So any important page, you want to have it ideally within 1 link and no more than 2 links away from the home page. So if you need to re-architect your website to distribute that juice that you have, which is measured by this domain rating or domain authority, that's something you'll want to do. So let's see. You rank on 268 200 some keywords. Well, in this case, 161 on the domain. So of course you rank on your name, East Coast Outfitters. And by the way, don't worry about the tool. Just understand the concept with me for a minute, and then I'll tell you about the tools. We can go into that later. So you rank on your name, position 1. We'd expect that, but it's relatively low traffic. East Coast kayaking. Oh, here we go. Kayak rentals, Nova Scotia. So that's something that you want to rank on, which they don't know about East Coast Outfitters necessarily. But if someone types that in, well, let's see, you move from position 10 to position 6, and you have a page just on rentals. But imagine if you had a page on kayak rentals, then this would probably move up a little bit better because it's specific to that search. So if kayak rentals Nova Scotia is something you want to rank on, you need to have a page that's just on kayak rentals Nova Scotia. Don't try to have one page cover many, many things. Instead, you could have this link to many other pages on, paddleboard rentals, kayak rentals, canoe rentals, whatever, right? You want to have many pages, each page to rank on a particular keyword. So canoe rental, you've moved up from 5 to 4. So you moved up 1, you can see. And the thing with competitive SEO is that you want to know who are those other people that are ranking ahead of me, and then how do I rank better than them? Kayak Halifax, Halifax Kayak, and all the different Nova Scotia towns and cities and provinces. Let's see what we have. Nova Scotia Kayaking, position 10, so the bottom of the first page. Kayaking Nova Scotia. So that's not kayak rental, but it's kayaking. So these people, maybe they have a kayak, they're looking for the best places to kayak, they're looking for guides, they're looking for just fun information because they're considering kayaking and they've kayaked lots of other places. Maybe they're looking for plane tickets, right? There's all kinds of things. So kayaking Nova Scotia, we don't necessarily know what their intent is. And we've slipped from 12 to 14, which is fine. This is called the Google dance when you move up and down. Do you guys know what is the best place to hide a dead body? Have you heard this joke before? It's the second page of Google. So 14 is on the second page. 11 plus is on the second page. Kayak lessons. Well, that's kind of cool that you rank on kayak lessons. Now, this could be kayak lessons that are in the local area. It could be people that are traveling in, or people that just in general want to learn how to kayak and they live in Los Angeles. So this could be good or not, but here, Kayaking Nova Scotia. So it's pretty clear what it is that you are trying to rank on. And of course, one distinguish between people that are looking at how to, like a YouTube thing, like how do I kayak? How do I kayak and not have my arms tired or something like that, right? Because for some reason I get tired because I don't know what I'm doing, I suppose. Versus people who want to rent a kayak, or they want a guided trip, or they want to plan a whole vacation and this kind of thing. So you've got lots of great content here. Let's take a look at one of these and see which of them we want to optimize for. And if you want to let me know, go ahead and type in if you have any sort of additional guidance so that we can be more specific here. We'll just go for kayaking Nova Scotia. Actually, no, let's do rental or kayak tours. Okay, kayak tours Nova Scotia. And let's take a look at what the search engines. Let's see where you are. You've been bouncing around. Oh, you're up in position 4 2 years ago. And then, that slipped a little bit. Well, let's see. Let's go to the SERPs, search engine results pages. Well, let's see. NovaScotia.com. Well, they have a domain rating of 74, so they're beating us pretty badly. You're not going to beat that one. They just have way too much juice. Nova Shores. Wow. Okay. 4 site links, 4 site links. Site links are when they show those links underneath. The more site links you have, the more authoritative it seems. And then here's where we are. All right, so we've got to get ahead of North River, Coastal Adventures. TripAdvisor is the one we love to hate because they use some tactics that would otherwise get them in trouble if they were a smaller site. Cape LaHave Adventures, Kayaking Nova Scotia. I know what you can do. Here, for all you guys listening, here's some free gold for you. So East Coast Outfitters, see the title here? East Coast Outfitters, Sea Kayaking in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Well, you put East Coast Outfitters first. So that's telling Google you want to rank on that first. You already rank on East Coast Outfitters. So what I'd do is I'd say Sea Kayaking, Halifax, Nova Scotia, pipe, East Coast Outfitters. So I put your name at the end of the URL. You see why? Because the closer it is to the front, the more important it is. So this will probably help you move up several positions just in this one search by itself. You guys see what we're doing here? Now, in terms of this juice that you have, is 23. Actually, I think the homepage you're doing even better. You're like a 30-something on the homepage. 33 on the homepage and 23. So it's a weird flip-flop. Normally, the domain is the highest. But you have 23 on the domain, and what this number measures is how much juice you have. So think of like this bottle of water, and then this bottle of water, and then if someone links to you, they're basically pouring juice. And so you want to collect as much juice as possible. So if Susan Sweeney of eLearning You has this huge bucket, I want her to link to me. But if she has this tiny little thimble, I mean, I'll still take links from her, but there's not much juice. If she's only got a little thimble, there's not much juice that she can pass to me. So I want to see who is linking to our friends at East Coast Outfitters and which ones are passing juice. All right, so we have US Keep Exploring.Canada.Travel. Okay. This is a pretty high-powered site, surprisingly. And it is linking to you. Things to do. Okay, so this is a guide where they're linking to lots of places. A lot of traffic on this one. NatureCanada.ca. They're linking to an image. Still counts because it's still a link. These are your highest-powered links, by the way. So let's see. Discover Halifax, NovaScotia.com. Top 10 tours. That's great. Linking to you. So all these guys are passing juice to you. So you might think, well, how come these guys, Discover Halifax, they've got a 60. How come we don't, how much of that juice do we get? Well, let's take a look. So here, Discover Halifax, they've got a 60 on the site, but this page has a 15 because it's several steps away. And then if the page has a 15, and we can see top 10 guided tours. Here's all these other guys linking. Let's see, linking. So all of these 10 guys are linking and sharing off of the juice. They're basically sharing this 15, right? So the amount that we're getting is, there's a lot of these other links too. We're getting maybe like 5 or 10% of the juice off of this page. And the thing to also know about these domain ratings or domain authority is it's on a log scale. So a 60 is really high. In fact, if you look at my site, I'm a 62, and a 72 would be 10 times stronger. An 82 would be 100 times stronger. A 92 would be 1,000 times stronger. So it's on a log scale, like an earthquake scale. So the difference between a 20 and a 30 is really huge. So this 23 is good, but you can see these other folks are up at 30, 40, and 50. So they're not just a little stronger. A 30 is not just a little stronger than a 20. It's an order of magnitude stronger. So we want to try to get as many high-powered links as we can. The best way to do it is guest blog posts, where you're writing on sites where maybe it's customers, or you have these B2B organizational relationships. You've won an award. You want to write an article on the hidden secrets of, how to do best kayaking, like anything you can do to write guest blog posts, because in those blog posts, they allow you to link back to your site. So it's a great way to generate links. Other ways to get links are you write content that's so good or produce video that's so good that people want to link to that article. But that is kind of hard to control. The best way to control it is you offer to write helpful articles on whatever topics these other folks want. Media mentions are good. Being in directories are often decent, but most directories are going to no follow your content. See, look, I'm going to show you. See this one here on todocanada.ca, where they got a list 24 outdoor activities, whatever. Here, this one, 21 places to canoe. This is also the same place to do. You see this where it says no follow? So that is a link property where they're telling the search engines do not pass juice. So no follow means our site's got this juice, but we're so greedy, we're not going to share any of it with the people that we link to. And you're going to see that with, I think you'll see it in TripAdvisor and these other guys. All the directories are just notorious for doing no follows. And it's not because they're evil. It's because they know that search engines will often penalize them because they're seen as maybe selling their link juice. So by putting a no follow, they're not doing it to try to screw you. They're doing it because the search engines, they know with the search engines, they don't want to be accidentally voting, because linking to somebody and passing juice is basically voting for them. And if there's ads on the site, they often don't want to do this no follow. So here's somebody who has a blog and they're putting in no follow. Is Adam Zeta the founder? Let's go take a look at this one. What is going on this one? KPW Outdoors, gear reviews. Okay. It's under Adam. Oh, it's in the comments. Is that what this is? Okay. Well, comments aren't going to pass you any juice. All right. So you guys are starting to see the idea, right? We can see who else is ranking on Nova Scotia kayak rental. And by the way, no matter what area you're in, it doesn't really, what we're covering here applies to everybody. So just because you're not doing kayak rentals or you're not in Nova Scotia doesn't mean this doesn't apply to you. All right, so we did a search and Google thinks it's a local search. So they're showing me a map plus a 3-pack. So all the local search results you see, whether it's a mobile or desktop, they're going to show you a 3-pack. Who ranks here? Kayak Shack, Flex Sports, and these other guys. So where are we? Ooh, I think we can nail these people. Where are we, by the way? Eco, East Coast Outfitters. Where are we? Are we not in these local search results? Here we are, East Coast Outfitters. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Eek. There's 11 of them ahead of us. Did I count that right? What I want to do is I want to knock these other guys out. So a lot of these guys, their Google My Business listing, if it has any kind of error in it or a couple errors in it, we can get their listing suspended. Let's see. Are they doing something wrong so we can get them suspended? Maybe. Let's see. Canoe and kayak rental service in Chester, Nova Scotia. Here's the address. It's called the Kayak Shack. All right. Well, if their name is not exactly the Kayak Shack, and if this is not their actual place, or if they are their address isn't exactly right, or they don't have signage there, then we can report them to Google. Let's see. This is a kayak shack. They're rated #1. I don't see signage. Do you? Is there a sign that says kayak shack? This looks residential. I bet you we can report them and get this listing suspended. This looks residential to me. Ooh, I'm pretty sure. I'm about 80% sure we can bust these guys. Some people don't like it when I talk about this because they think it's dirty to tattle on other people. Well, you're doing a service to the community, because if they're violating Google guidelines, then, we should say something about that. And after all, we move up from 12 to 11 to 10, and we could probably knock out, let's see how many of these we can knock out just for violating the TOS. Flex Water Sports Rental. They have okay reviews. You really should. 4-star reviews, by the way, is not good. You want to be at least 4.5. Let's look at these guys. Let's look at where they are. Let's spy on them. Google Maps is so powerful. They even released this new Google Earths, which allows you to zoom around the planet like you're flying. It's crazy. Let's see what's going on with these guys. And we don't have time to cover today, but I can talk about the ways to report people. So this looks like an actual place. So I don't think we're not going to get them on location spam, but I wonder if we can get them on name spam. This place is called Flex Water Sports. Well, often if they'll say things like Nova Scotia kayak, or like the lawyers will do that, the locksmiths will do that, the real estate and these other folks will do that. Usually these names are probably their actual names. This one, Norse Cove Kayak Center, Nova Scotia, might not be their actual name. It has to be their actual business name. Let's see. What is this business called anyway? Because often a lot of people, they add Nova Scotia or their city name to the end of their listing in their name. That's a no-no. So that's name spam. So we report them on that. So this place is called Sea Kayak Center, but here they've named their listing North Cove Kayak Center, Nova Scotia. We could report them on name spam, and this will get them delisted or get their listing suspended. Of course, we come in and verify that that's the case. So you can see that just from an SEO, you see that SEO is a competitive space, right? Because you're ranking number 12. You kind of want to be in the first 3, don't you? So you have to knock these other guys out. You got to rank ahead of them, or you got to get them, moved out. So this is local search results, but there's other search results, right? This is local, but there's all the rest is part of universal search. Oh, look, these guys are using rich snippets. They have the review snippet here. Get my boat. All right, in directory, it looks like. So notice when I did the search, and you guys are going to start to notice this as you start doing searches. A lot of people, they think they understand search engines just because they've used a search engine. That's like people that they've flown on an airplane. So they've flown enough times that they think that they're now able to talk about airplanes and flying airplanes. You don't know anything about flying an airplane just because you've been on an airplane. So the same thing with the search engines. Let's talk about what the search engines are looking at. So when you do a search, they're giving you what's called a universal search result. So all is looking at a mix of things. It could be videos and travel and reference and local and all these kinds of things here. So they're giving you a mix of these things because they don't know necessarily what could be a how-to, YouTube video. So we could be over here and click on videos and let's see. Murphy's Camping, kayaking the wild islands, Nova Scotia, paddling yours to explore. So they're using these keywords you can see in bold. But if I had it in the title, if I had a video that was just on the things to look for in a kayak rental company in Nova Scotia. Oh, I might click on that. Oh, make sure they got all reviews, make sure their people are experienced and certified, make sure that they're, whatever it is, like you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you could literally make a 1-minute video. You could post it on YouTube, a vertical 1-minute video on your cell phone. This is new. This was not true last year. You make a 1-minute vertical video on your cell phone and you post it, and it's now called YouTube Shorts. You guys are going to find that's going to drive a lot of traffic here because YouTube really wants to get some social network stuff. Google wants to win in the social networks, so they're willing to do these kinds of things. Not a lot of competition, or even pulling in Facebook. Wow. I think they're doing that for regulatory reasons because they've been accused of, shutting out Facebook and whatnot. All right, let's see who else we have. Do you guys find that helpful? Let's see, Sunworks with an E. Let's look at Sunworks, sunworks.com. All right, let's see. It's taking a while to load. Welcome to your place in the sun. This is a little hard to read. The site's taking me a while to load. And it doesn't have a lot of domain juice. And this looks like stock art in the back. Hope you don't mind me being too harsh. My guess is you will get nailed on page speed insights. So Google has a tool to rank, or basically tell you how your website's doing on desktop and mobile. And they give you a score on each. I'm going to guess your mobile score is a 30 and your desktop is maybe a 50. Let's see, because I think your site's heavy. So they're going to break it down into these different factors. And mobile site speed is huge. It is now oh, look, 20. I was pretty close. And then desktop score, 58. Okay. Typically, you're going to see a higher desktop score because people have faster connections and sites are designed for desktop, as you can see. But on mobile, you were getting crushed. So because your score is so low, this is not me telling you 22. This is Google's own tool. Google's saying, wow, it's taking a long time to get the first bit of data, and it's taking 17 seconds to get the internet. Why is that? It's because you can see they're taking snapshots as it's loading. So nothing, 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 nothing. It's because of this animation thing you have. So here's all these things that you can do to cut down an extra 14 seconds in 15 seconds in your load time. There's a lot of stuff here that is, you'd not realize that your site speed is so important. Let's take a look at this. Let me close the kayaks. Where are we? Okay, check this out. Chrome. In Chrome, I have developer tools and I go developer. Yeah, here, developer tools. You have this. This is not some special tool. You have this if you're using Chrome. And what we're going to do is we're viewing this on an iPhone 10, or we can view it on an iPad, or we can view it, whatever. So on an iPhone 10, this is what happens. This is what the site looks like, right? It's like this. At least I can see it. So the site is responsive enough so that it renders differently on desktop versus mobile. Now I'm going to refresh. So Command R on Apple or Control R on your laptop. And I can see that there's all these things that are loading. What is going on here? .mp4. This is the thing that's hurting us, is it? Why is this the main thing in the waterfall? I don't understand what is going on here. Let me see here. Where are some problems? There's some problems here, huh? We'll troubleshoot this a little bit later. Oh, you have an invalid certificate. That's not good. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing? Trying to do? Let's switch to desktop here, and then we'll close this panel out. Tanning, sunbeds, sunless spray tans, anti-aging, and body care. So you guys are selling equipment, are you? Or you have locations where you're selling this equipment? So you're direct to consumer, or are you selling to this? Oh, you have a salon. Okay. So you have one location? This is locations. Here you are, Hudson, Wisconsin. Actually, cold in winter there, getting your sun here. You have links. Why do you have multiple links here? You have the links here, and then the same social links down here. Why is that? Tanning beds, sunbeds. And I bet you rank on these sunbeds and tanning in your city. Let's see, do we? Tanning, Hudson, Wisconsin, number 1. All right. Sunworks, Hudson, Wisconsin. Did you hire an SEO person? My guess is you might have. Be careful about this. They could hurt you. I'm not saying they have. What's going on here? Spray tan, Minneapolis. Tanning salons in Hudson, Wisconsin. Are there many of them? Let's see. There you are. Number 1. 4 site links. Very good. And these are your competitors. You got a Groupon. That's a hit and miss kind of thing. Okay. What else can we determine about these guys? The main thing is just make your site load faster. I don't think you have much content on the site. Where are these links coming from? At 471 backlinks, where are they coming from? Are you using spammy places to get these links? Yellow pages, Groupon. Okay, so you have these directory super pages. These are all directory listings. Yep, these are directory listings. They're no follow, of course. See, no follow. They don't test. Super pages, I think it's Verizon. Okay. Sunworks, tanspa.net. Oh, this is your previous site. And then you just moved it to Sunworks, which I think is a lot better. Have the .com if you can, of course. What is this? Contour International goes to 404 error, 302 redirect, which is temporary redirect instead of a 301 permanent redirect. Why do you have all these redirects? Was this the previous company? Okay, well, that's weird. But you have someone who's linking to you, but you're sending people to a 404 page, so send them to something. Is that your previous name? Contour? Yellow pages. Okay, so that's cool. Yep, both of you guys are location driven. So let's see who else we have. Mole Creek Lodge. Okay, Let's take a look. You guys having fun? Let me know in the chat. Is this interesting for you or not? Or is this way too technical? Or sometimes in the audience, people say, all this stuff's so basic. Why doesn't it cover the fancy more, I mean, we can do that too, but I want to make sure we cover the basics. I'd love to know, like, what do you guys think? You guys find this useful? What questions do you have so far? Go ahead and put them in the chat. I'd love to see it. Michael and Marianne. Oh, cool. There's a picture here. You know what would be better than a picture? A video where you say, hey, this is Michael. And hi, I'm Marianne. And, I'd love you to come stay in our home. And it looks like an old-fashioned log cabin. You remember back in the days when we used to dream about, being in a log cabin or whatever. And we built this. And that's why, it's like this. And it reminds you of, whatever it is you want to say.
Dennis,
This is
people can post in questions, not in chat. I'm not sure if you can act questions area, but Sunworks Roxanne says it was an old site that was linked. Contours no longer there. We use their products.
Okay.
Interesting, great information. Can you see the questions area, Dennis?
No, I can't.
No. So they can only type in the questions area and you can see in the chat. So I'm trying to move things over to there, but that's just the way that GoToWebinar works.
Here we go. Yeah. Well, hey, we're still connecting online. So whether it's the chat or the questions, I mean, yeah, try to put it in the chat. That way I could see it. I'm here to help you guys. I figure you want to know what a search engine thinks about things. So Michael, Marianne, I love what you got here. I love this background video. People love using drones for property shots. I get it. Don't overuse it, but this is a good use of it. And it looks like it loads in the background, so it doesn't slow the site that much. And you are about average for the amount of SEO power on a local site for a B&B, 12. So, anywhere to 10 to 15 is normally where a local site is. And a regional property might be 15 to 30. A regional newspaper, whatever, might be 40 or 50. Something like New York Times would be like a 92. So let's see. I think you just need more videos too. This is great. But the more you can feature what other people are doing, the better. Obviously, TripAdvisor and Google are great, but you want to be completely dependent upon the OTAs. Let's see. Oh, here, you see this? Kamloops web design and SEO provided by Adroit Technologies. Do not allow parasitic behavior. So this Adroit Technologies is parasitic because they're sucking the juice off your site. That's a no-no. Don't let anyone do that to you, even if it's a no-follow. Don't do that. Like, anyone who builds websites knows that is a no-no. Like, oh no, but we should put a little thing saying it was built by us, right? No, because Google sees that. It does. If they're linking to their site from lots of client sites and the client sites are all in different categories, that doesn't create, unless they're all travel sites in the same area or something, it's just not the right way to do it. Let's see. Backup as a service. All your IT, websites, domains. Yeah, see, they have a 71 because they're sealing the juice off of everyone else's site. And I think it's a site-wide, I'm going to guess it's a site-wide footer, meaning, let me go look at some of these suites. Let's go look at breakfast. I love to eat breakfast. And are they linking at the bottom? Yes, they are. Call them up saying, hey, I talked to this dude who worked at Yahoo as a search engine engineer. He said that shouldn't be doing that link in the bottom. And what they'll say is, oh, no, we always do that. It's totally okay. No, it's not. Oh, and then they'll say, if you catch them on, because they think that you don't know, or the person you're talking to probably doesn't actually know. And then they'll say something like, oh, it's just part of our template. So all of our templates have it. Yeah, but if you package in poison with your stuff here, like let's say as part of your breakfast, you have poison. Oh, we always put poison in our breakfast. No, don't do that. This is delicious, by the way. I'd love to see more pictures. You should put way more pictures here. And especially in your Google My Business, you want to have a ton of stuff. Google My Business is your own mini website that Google makes for you. You should definitely populate that. So let's see. Here's your GMB. You have 6 reviews. Let's get more reviews. Let's try to get, Google's looking at how many reviews you've gotten over the last 2 weeks. So maybe some of you guys are like hundreds of reviews, but that's good. But Google's really looking at the last 2 weeks. Let's take a look at what else you have. You don't have any questions and answers, so definitely you can come in and ask the question and then answer the question. Did you know that? You definitely want that. You just want to fill this out. Add in all of the stuff that you can. Okay, a month ago. Oh, good, you replied. Good, like always reply to these reviews. Yep, you replied. Positive or negative, always reply to reviews. You guys know that. Okay, good, especially in the negative reviews. Because if you get them to update the review, then it throws out the negative review and it becomes a positive review. All right, what else do we know about this place? Okay, photos and videos. View all photos and, okay, what do you have? Oh, you have a good number, but you want more. I want a lot more. Get your friends to come in and click like. I'll click like for you. There you go, see? All right, I'm going to show you what your Google My Business should look like. And you're going to have your Google GMB under a main email. In this case, I'm going to switch it to Access at Blitz Metrics, not mine. I always like to have just some general one. So I could look at this one, for example, Arizona Vision Eye Center. I mean, oh, actually, no, let's go to this one. Brighton Harbor Hotel. Here's a better one. Okay. So this is in England. So this is part of the Harbor Hotels chain, and there's like 7 or 8 of them. And you can see, if I look at my insights, this is the first thing I look at, by the way, inside my GMB. So in the last month, I've got a lot of people looking, and some people are coming from, you can see, looking at the listings in search or looking at the maps. So this site is absolutely crushing it. And we see of these 391,000 people, let's see the last 3 months, 1.2 million in the last quarter. And then we got how many actions? 27. Actually, that's kind of low in terms of actions. You guys know what an action is, right? There's 3 kinds of actions. There's website clicks, maps and directions, and calls. And Google just released something where they're actually going to tell you who the phone numbers are on each of the people that have called you, which is kind of neat. So Google has this already configured for you. So you should look at it and see where people are coming from and what's driving this. They give you all kinds of detail about this. These 880 calls, that's pretty awesome. Our photo views are higher because we have just way more photos and videos than everybody else. We just have tons of it. Look at this, just tons and tons. I recommend that you upload 100 of them. You could sprinkle them in over time, or you could put them all in at once. You also want to have posts as well. So you want to post at least once per week, and posts are not the same thing here as photos and videos. So your GMB is going to be so key, and you'd never believe it. Just even things like around the property or outside, or what guests are saying or what they're doing, you'd never know. Sometimes some random picture will just get thousands of, like literally, I've checked in at different places and I've gotten thousands of views on just taking a picture of the food or the outside or the sunset or, whatever it might be. So you want to try to get your GMB pimped out. So fill out every part of it, make sure you're updating your hours, make sure you list all your services, make sure you add just everything you can add here, just add it in here, right? You can also look in your Google Search Console. Let's see. Google Search Console complements your GMB, and we'll show you where, I think I'm in the wrong one, am I? That's metrics access. Okay, good, I am. So I'll look at, I look at this one, sure. It's a chiropractor. All right, so for this chiropractor who is in, I think they're in San Antonio. I want to see what is, so this is Google giving you their little SEO tool, okay? So they're telling you where people are coming from and under what keywords. See? Impressions, meaning they saw you, but they didn't necessarily click on it. That's why the impressions is higher. This doesn't mean they came to your website. And the 31 isn't necessarily that they came to your website either, because they could have clicked on it and your website takes so long to load, they never get there. All right, look, you see these keywords? Chiropractor near me, chiropractor San Antonio, the name of it, right? You can see we're getting a few clicks. If I sort this by impressions, I'll get a different, you see here, 5 clicks, 2 clicks. But if I sort by impressions, it shows me the opportunity that I have. So here on chiropractor San Antonio, by the way, this is free. Google Search Console is free. There's no reason not to use it. 1,300 impressions, only got 2. So that's silly. So I showed up 1,300 times and they only clicked on me twice. And then the reverse, which is not the same search, San Antonio chiropractor instead of chiropractor San Antonio, I got no clicks. Ouch. So why do I have no clicks? Well, my GMB isn't pimped out. My website doesn't have the rich snippets. The site loads too slow. I don't have good reviews. It could be whatever it might be. And then this one, chiropractor, this doesn't mean I'm ranking on chiropractor overall. It means that Google's inferring that people are in San Antonio and they're searching chiropractor because they already know where you are, right? Even if you're logged out, they know where you are. Kind of scary. So you can see here that, Google's telling us what we need to work on. There used to be see if I can find it. They move stuff around here, legacy tools. So they have these web tools. Oh, I think they got rid of it. They had all these other cool tools down here to look at where, we can go to Core Web Vitals. I don't have the data on this one. Okay, fine. But Google provides all kinds of tools inside Google Analytics, inside Google Search Console, Google My Business. There's Ahrefs, there's SEMrush as these different tools. I love looking at these there. It's not that any one tool is better than another, right? But it just gives you different views and things that you might fix. Let's take a look at Set Your Sales. Okay, what do we have going on at Set Your Sales? And let's go look at the site too at the same time. We look at the tools and look at the site at the same time. Okay, what does Set Your Sales do? Are you sailing on your right course in life? That's right. Okay, Annie Evans. See, you had me fooled there for a minute because I thought it was tourism and travel, even though she's done a lot of sailing. She's doing a lot of coaching too. So she's got some links, but the links don't carry a lot of juice. So her domain's got a 1, but this page has got a 22. Where are these links coming from on the page? Let's see. From while that's loading, we've got a couple minutes left. You can see her site has been alive maybe a year and change. She's not running ads. Ads are in the orange. I'm using SEMrush now. I use lots of different tools. I bounce back and forth. And here is, let's see, what do we determine here? Traffic is kind of stable in the last year. Annie Evans Architects, Set My Sales, Jim Rome. Here's competitors, surpass your goals. The important brainy quote. Okay. And here's these other folks that we maybe want to compete against or maybe not. They're just kind of guessing. All right. It's a WordPress site. You see this W, you want to change that fav icon if you can. And if this is WordPress.com, I'd recommend moving to WordPress.org where you're hosting it yourself. It's a little more effort, but I think it's better than being on WordPress.com. All right, so we've got links from other people, online course schools, no follow because it's a directory. TNT code, no follow. One of the things you should do is have, it could be you, it could be if you're small, or it could be someone who's your web person or marketing person, is come in and check these links and check and see, which ones have been lost, for example. And looking for the red here. It's not a lot of links, so there's not many to lose. But if you look at mine, you'll see I'm losing hundreds all the time, but I'm gaining hundreds all the time. And when you get any kind of media mention, so this is part of reputation management, it's community management, it's PR, where anytime you get a mention, you want to try to make the most of it. Maybe change the anchor text or ask them if you can do a guest blog post. There's a lot of things that you could do. And of course, like I showed you, page speed. And there's a lot of Google tools. It's crazy how many tools there are. I want to do one more real quick because I know we are coming up at the top of the hour. Hope you guys are having fun. Fair Connect. Okay. Well, this is a great name. And they got a lot of links. 2,200 backlinks. Good amount of authority. It's like a medium-sized travel site. Revenge Travel. Okay. Travel. Fair Agent. Okay. And here's these packages. I bet you they have a lot of URLs. Let's see what the URL structure is on these different packages. Okay. Let's choose one of these ones. I love Puerto Vallarta. I haven't been there in a while. I'm looking to see Aeroplan.Air Canada Vacations. Oh, it's linking straight out. Oh, okay. Why would you link straight out? These are all linking straight out. Let's see what the site's built with anyway. Got all the Google products. Okay. These are all free plugins, by the way. This built with, and I'm going to show you a couple other ones real quick. Cloudflare to make it load faster. It's a content delivery network. What kind of content management system is? Oh, you're on Drupal. That's weird. Why are you on Drupal? All right. There's nothing wrong with that, but okay. You're missing the Facebook pixel. So that's an opportunity that technically not part of SEO, but I think you should do it. This is part of tracking. And then you have some stuff that's broken here. You have multiple Google Analytics profiles. So you this 612, 543, and 367. You have 3 Google Analytics profiles and you have 1 Google Tag Manager container. So for those of you who don't know, when you have lots of tags, not just Google tags, it can be the Facebook tags and Twitter tags, remarketing tags, other sorts of pixels, you want to have them all live inside your Google Tag Manager, not live outside of it. So you can come here and figure out what's going on here. The tag's not working. Okay, well, who knows why that might be. Oftentimes people will just put lots of tags here and then forget about it. Whoever built the site will just make all these tags and, oh, Las Vegas, that's where I am. Is that because it's looking at where I am? 1866 your deal. Fair Connect. I can't imagine that's a Las Vegas thing, is it? Or is it just because I'm in Las Vegas today? Fair Connect. Site colon. All right, what do we have? 1,100 pages. We plan, you pack. So it's an agent. So you guys make a commission, right? Disney, Disney travel insurance. That's weird. Okay, so you can see that the domain's got a 33 and it's passing down 8 to the page, which is about normal. So usually every link away from the homepage, you lose about 10 points. So, one link away be go from a 33 to a 23 and then to a 13. So that's probably like 2 links away. And I guess you're linking to these other guys because you get a commission if they book through your link, right? You get like 5% or something. All right. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you guys are having fun. We took a look at a few of these sites and you could see that from a search engine standpoint, we're looking at usability. We're looking at speed. We're looking at who's linking to you. We're looking at how many web pages you have. The more web pages you have, the more you have an opportunity to rank. A lot of you guys just don't have enough web pages. And we like to say if you're not at least 100 web pages, then you're not even in the game for SEO. If you're a national level site, then you've got to be thousands, right? So here we got 1,100, so that's good. Not to say there has to be an exact number, but we like to see, like if you're a local site, you're a bed and breakfast, you're a rental, outdoor travel, tour guide, restaurant, hotel, then, maybe 100 pages is okay. But you need more information to send the signal, all the things that you want to possibly rank for. I will show you one last thing. Let's go back to our kayak rental brand. And it's not Kayak the Travel Search. Isn't that funny? Kayak rental Nova Scotia. It's just like Subway. When we were working with Subway, like, is Subway sandwiches or people are taking the Subway when they're in New York? Okay, so Kayak rental Nova Scotia. What was I going to show you? Shoot, I forgot the thing I was going to show you.
That's okay, Dennis. We can go into the Q&A. You've got lots of questions, and we're already kind of 6 minutes into our Q&A. So why don't I take things back and we'll get into the Q&A?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for the presentation. Lots of great content in there, and I'm sure that the attendees whose sites were reviewed have lots of things on their list now to make changes. So anybody who joined us late, questions, type them in the question area. I can read those out to Dennis. Alternatively, if you'd like to speak directly to Dennis, just click on that little hand symbol on your control panel. It lights up on my screen. I'll unmute you and you can speak to Dennis directly. Okay, so let's get into our questions. First question, where do we find the Google Tags Manager?
Google Tag Manager is something that you literally can just Google, and most people don't want to configure their own tag manager. It's part of what we call digital plumbing. So Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager, Google Search Console, Google My Business, Google Ads, all those are part of this Google suite of products. So there's no way you can really be successful without linking all of them together. And if you message me, I'll send you our digital plumbing guide that will show you step by step how to do all of that. Because even if you get to Google Tag Manager, you still have to set up your container, and then your container has to have all the pixels. And the pixels are pixels for LinkedIn and Twitter and Google and Facebook and any other third-party pixels that you have. So all of that is part of Google Tag Manager. We use Google Tag Manager to manage all the pixels. We don't want to manually manage the pixels. We don't want our developers to be pasting in pixels on the page, because sometimes the websites change and you have different landing pages and whatnot. And so it's better just to centrally manage everything inside a single container. That's what Google Tag Manager does. It's free. It's been a great tool for many years.
Okay, Roxanne, you've got your hand raised. I'm going to unmute you. There you go, Roxanne. You can have a chat with Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. How are you? So I yesterday
Oh, hey.
with Sunworks. Yeah, so I know a lot about what you're talking about. Compliments to you. So my question is about the new Google Analytics 4. Is that something we're going to have to replace on our site or tag managers? Or don't worry about it yet?
GA4 is independent of Tag Manager. So Tag Manager is what manages all your pixel. And Google Analytics has moved from something called UA, which is Universal Analytics, to the GA4. So everyone will need to upgrade probably in the next year. And there's a lot of things that Google has done to upgrade from UA into GA4, but you're still going to use Tag Manager. The fact that Chrome is killing off all third-party cookies sometime in the next year, and then iOS 14 with Apple basically warring against Facebook, saying we're not going to let you have any of this other data, means that we need to rely upon Google to capture a lot of that data for us. We've got to connect that with our CRM. So this is a little bit technical, but basically you have to set up your event tracking inside Google to pass the events where people buy, they fill out a form, they make a phone call, any kind of action, you've got to pass that back to Google Analytics and then to whatever your CRM is. On Facebook, that's called the conversion API. And there's a way to do that. The main thing is we don't want to be dependent upon the browser, and we don't want to be dependent upon Facebook to pass back the signal of conversion. So you know this because I know that you're an expert in digital plumbing, but digital plumbing is how do you connect all these items together? If you do not connect these items together, as these changes are starting to happen, your data is going to get polluted and you can't really tell what's working or not.
Okay, so would you recommend that we go ahead and update that now?
You could move the GA4 now, but I would still keep Universal Analytics in place because it's just not quite ready. I look at both of them. And Google also recommends keeping both alive at the same time.
Yeah, I read that the other day. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. That was a technical question. We don't expect most of you guys to ask questions like that, but feel free.
Okay, Roxanne, I'm going to mute you again. Okay, next question. Where do I find out more about YouTube Shorts?
Well, you could literally Google it, but YouTube Shorts was launched about a year ago. And it started in India with the initial pilot. So only a few people got in, and then you could make literally 1 minute YouTube, 58 seconds, because for some reason, if you put it in a minute, the thing gets confused. But 58 seconds. And then in the title, you just put shorts at the end with the hashtag in it, hashtag shorts. But now Google has opened it up so that anyone can do YouTube Shorts without even needing to be in the program. And I'll just show you. So here I'm on YouTube, right? You can see this. Let me move this so the Zoom is working properly. Okay, there we go. And do you see in the bottom left of my screen where it says shorts? See that, Susan and everyone else? That shorts? That allows me to upload a 1 minute video, and it doesn't have to be edited. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a re-upload of other content that I've already made. And these things are taking off. People are getting just stupid amounts of traffic because Google is algorithmically giving it tons and tons of extra value. And if for some reason you don't have shorts, you can literally just, oh, look, check this out. I didn't even notice this. Look, so here on YouTube, I'm inside the mobile app, but shorts is also on desktop. Do you see here these vertical videos? This is called the shorts shelf. And here's a video of mine that was just uploaded, a re-uploaded video. This is a video I made a long time ago. You can see it's already got 1,200 views.
Isn't that Ben?
That's Logan. And you can see there's more. This shorts shelf. So you can see there's more and more of these. Do you see all these little short little videos? So this is a news feed, but it's moving horizontally instead of vertically. Because normally you go to a news feed and it's just going like this, right? All the way down. So what's happening with YouTube is when you're inside the shorts, so most people, you can see here's the YouTube short. You make money and they kind of show everyone the same thing where here's what my product is, my business. We believe in sequencing, and that's where the power of Facebook some time ago, Procter & Gamble came out and said, so then I can just look and see more of these shorts. Actually swipe up. Yeah, see, here's another short. Here's another short. Oh, it's like TikTok, right? Here's another one. People love these real-time reality, people arguing, something about to happen, right? So I don't want to see what happens.
Biggest purchase in Walmart history, 70,000.
Now we see more.
Hey.
It's TikTok, okay? You see, that's basically YouTube Short. See what's going on? It's their TikTok competitor.
And of course, YouTube is owned by Google, so almost everything in YouTube is important for your Google SEO, right?
That's right.
Perfect. A question on a copy of the presentation. Of course, we didn't have a PowerPoint presentation per se. We did all the screenshots. So anybody who wants to review this, of course, it's in our library, and you can go in anytime into the library and just do a search on Dennis, and you'll find this video, but also all of his other videos as well. So no PDF of today's presentation. It's basically go back and review the video. And just kind of as a heads up, because people don't really realize this, with our partners, you can log in. They do a promo. You see the next two webinars. Hint, hint. After you log in, you can go to live webinars, upcoming live webinars, and you can register for any of them. We've got them all online up to January 2022. Those are all set and scheduled. So you can go in at any point in time, log in, go to our live webinars, and you can register for any and all of the webinars right up to January 22. And just keep going back on a regular basis. You will get your regular promotion from your partners, from our partners, but just as a heads up, you can go in anytime. So for today's presentation, go in and take a look at the recording if you want to do a review. Next question, Dennis. Does the favicon make a difference to Google?
It does to some degree because it sends a signal. And you'll see Google's changed their search results. It used to be that they would have the page title and then the site name and then the meta description, but they've rearranged that. And so the favicon is one thing that people look at. And if it increases your click-through rate just a little bit, then it sends the signal to Google that, that search result is better and we can move it up a couple more positions, right? So even moving up just a couple positions can be a huge deal in terms of traffic. Like if you can move from position 4 to position 3 on a keyword, that can really help. It's just a better user experience too. There's no reason not to do it. It's easy to fix.
Okay. Next question. You didn't mention anything about Google's view on keywords in URL, H1 tags, page title, page text, etc. Aren't these things that Google looks at?
Sure. But the search signals that are the most powerful, that are hard to fake, are from off-site SEO. So there's on-site SEO, which is H1 tags and sitemaps and meta descriptions and rel canonical and all that. And then there's off-site, which is generating links, actually having the content, being on guest blogs, people mentioning you even without linking you. And so this increasingly is where the power of SEO is, because these things that are on-site SEO are handled by Surfer SEO or Yoast or other plugins that are part of WordPress. So if you're on WordPress, you already have basically 95% of your on-site SEO handled. And there's certain things you can do to make sure that the key points are in H1s or to change your titles to have your keywords so they're keyword rich. But if you do too much of that, you're going to suffer from something that's called an OOP, which is an over optimization penalty. And we see people that jam in tons and tons of keywords. That's going to get you in trouble, because us as a search engine, we're looking at you and saying, all right, clearly these guys are trying to trick us and they're not creating great content. And if you over optimize for the search engine, then it's not really good for the user, right? Think about what's best for the user. And there's a balance between having page titles that are descriptive and relevant and also are intriguing enough to be a headline, such as the 7 most beautiful pictures of kayaking in Nova Scotia. Oh, that's interesting to the user, but it's also using the keywords at the same time. So there's a balance there. And that's more copywriting than it is about the technical SEO, which is, I think, what our friend here is asking about SEO. So yes, still do technical SEO, but that's mostly a one and done. Just get the basic structure in place, and then 90+% of your power is going to be generating links, generating content, building relationships. Social media is now a key part of SEO too.
Okay, great. I'm down to the last 2 questions. So if somebody has anything they'd like to have covered in the program, please get it in now. I do have a comment rather than a question from Nate. Great insights. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So a little kudos there. Next question. Does that link on the bottom penalize my site?
Yes, it does. It's stealing juice from you. Why would you let anybody take juice from your site? And even if they paid you for it, don't do it, because that's a no-no as well. Google doesn't allow the buying of links.
Okay. And the last question, unless someone gets in real quick, is where do we do the questions and the answers, and should we include keywords?
Yes, you should include the keywords. You should try to include location and what you do as well. But don't try to overstuff it. So what we've been talking about the last couple of questions is keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is like, if I want to do Nova Scotia kayak rentals, then I'll just constantly say, what's the best Nova Scotia kayak rental? And are kayaks in Nova Scotia expensive to rent? Or you can do a couple of questions like that, but don't overdo it, because then it's obvious that you're doing it for the search engine. It's just not a good user experience.
Excellent. That brings us to the end of our questions, the end of our program. Dennis, thank you ever so much. You're always such a wealth of information, and it's great that you can just go right online and show everybody rather than talk about it. So much appreciated.
SEO should be a demonstrate kind of thing. Like if we're going to do a thing on juggling, you want to see me juggle, right? I'm not going to talk about juggling. And I think in digital marketing, because everything's so transparent with data, shouldn't you be able to see it? So if you're talking to anybody who, whether it's PPC or SEO or building websites, they should be able to log in and show you. That's why we didn't do a PowerPoint today. And So it's an honor to spend time with you, Susan, and everyone else here. I think it's been 5 years or something like that working with you for on the stuff on e-learning. So I love the group that's here, and I love to see the questions that are here. I love to see what you guys have in terms of feedback, even if you're watching on the replay.
Excellent. Okay, thanks a million, Dennis. Thanks everybody for attending. We'll see you next Thursday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe.